welcome to my story channel. This is Sakshi ma'am and I'm your own storyteller. Here I am to present one more story just for you all. Okay, you know what? Once upon a time there was a bubbly bee. She used to buzz all day long. Zzz. And she used to move from one flower to another flower, to another flower to another flower in search of nectar. She was expert in making delicious honey. Who all loves honey? Please put your hands up. I do love honey so much. And you know what? Bubbly Bee was loved by Queen Bee since she was very hardworking, very friendly, and extremely talented, just like me. Okay, so one day, Bubbly Bee, who was friend of all the flowers in the garden, was just moving here and there in search of sweet nectar. Suddenly, she slipped and she fell very deep. She fell into very sticky web. You know whose web was that? It was Spiky Spider's web. And Spiky Spider was very cruel. It was very big. The bubbly bee started crying. Somebody help me! Somebody help me! But there was no one there. It was very dark. It was very scary in the web. And the bubbly bee thought to herself, "Oh my God, I have never done wrong to anyone. Please save me, my lord. Please save me." On hearing this, all the flowers started crying and they were very sad. They discussed among themselves that if Bubbly Bee will not be there, then who will help them in transferring the pollen grains, you see? Do you know what are pollen grains? They help the flowers in growing and in developing and in making more and more flowers around the world. They pleaded the Spiky Spider and said, "Oh dear Spiky Spider, please save the Bubbly Bee. She is very friendly. She is very kind and she is such a generous, hard-working bee. She makes the best honey in the world. And do you know what? She really helps us in transferring our pollen grains. Without her, we would just be nothing." On hearing this, the Spiky Spider thought, I think you all are right. And I just can't make all the flowers angry around me because I just live with all of them. And the Spiky Spider quickly did one thing. He broke his own net. And you know what? The Bubbly Bee was free again. She was buzzing with happiness and she said, thank you, my dear friends. You're the best friends in the world ever. You really helped me. But now I must go back to my work because you know, work is worship. The Spiky Spider said, "Yes, you're right. The work is worship. And I should also get back in making my own web so that I can live on it happily again." The bubbly bee moved around, buzzing from one flower to another. And she really helped all the flowers in growing and growing. And the garden was again very happy place. The bees were buzzing, the butterflies were dancing, and the flowers were swinging with happiness. They all sang a beautiful song. You know what, kids? Almost 1/3 of the food that we eat is because of pollinators like bees. They pollinate the pollen grains and we get lots and lots of plants around. So, 3 cheers for the bubbly bee. Who would say with me? Say hip hip hooray. 3 cheers, bubbly bee. And we must really love and appreciate the hard work that all the bees in the world do. Okay, so I hope you like my story of the buzzing bee. If yes, then please like, share and subscribe. I'll see you in my next story. Please let me know how are you liking the stories. You can do it simply by pressing the like button. Okay, tada, take care. I'll see you in the next video. Bye-bye.